Hi, this is Dr. Munsell again. This is going to hopefully, actually it will be the very last video for the very first day. And I'm getting to the point where I think I'm being disrespectful to equine spirits. That just came to me. It means I'm beating a dead horse. But in any case, various other course policies and thoughts. I will let you look through all that stuff and read all that stuff. The most important of all of that stuff to me is the virtual communication policy, aka Netiquette. That stuff is very, very important, and I borrow that stuff from the University of Illinois Business School, and there's also a website that I want you to read some stuff in there regarding etiquette or netiquette, which is etiquette on the net, thus the devilishly clever name. And so basically what it says here, it's guidelines A through I. Remember that the person receiving your message is someone like you, someone who deserves and appreciates courtesy and respect, the golden rule. B, be brief, succinct, thoughtful messages have the greatest impact. Your messages, this is C, your messages reflect on you. Take time to make sure that you are proud of their form and content, which means proofread stuff. D, use descriptive subject headings in email messages. I'm amazed at how many students will send me emails with nothing in the subject line, and oftentimes I will read them, but that's bad. Think about your audience and relevance of your message. Be careful with humor and sarcasm. Without the voice inflections and body language of face-to-face communication, internet messages can be easily misinterpreted. Even though we have emoticons and smileys and stuff like that, still it's very hard to convey humor, LOL type stuff, smiley face online. So be careful. When making follow-up comments, summarize the parts of the message to which you are responding. This might be very, very helpful for our threaded discussions. Avoid repeating what has already been said. Needless repetition is ineffective communication. Needless repetition is ineffective communication. Needless repetition is ineffective communication. Cite appropriate references whenever using someone else's ideas, thoughts, or words. If not, you are cheating and will go straight to H-E double hockey sticks. But that stuff is really, really important to me, so make sure that you are very respectful. And this is in part what you're learning. You're learning to be a professional writer through or within the context of the internet. The other course policies I will let you look at. There's a lot of stuff in here that I put in lots of different syllabi. If you've taken any of my other classes, and they're just sort of changed slightly for the context of this online course. And my teaching philosophy really stays the same. You know, we're sort of learning by doing stuff, even though we're not going to physical places, though you can. So just sort of read that stuff. And also, you know, I do believe in co-authoring this entire experience. One of the cool things about online learning is that it's very, very self-directed, even though I'm bombarding you with videos, and I will continue to bombard you with videos. It's sort of like an independent study. I think I've mentioned this in other videos. It's really up to you to keep up with the work and to work at your own pace and do it when you can do it. We don't meet at regular times, so just take care of your business whenever you can do so. But of course there are still some very specific due dates and stuff like that. And then teaching for social justice and transferable skills. One of my main interests in places of public memory has to do with issues of race and gender and things like that, and what particularly in South Carolina, some of the our places of public memory like Fort Sumter or the State House grounds say about messages what messages they offer about issues of race and the past here in South Carolina, perhaps the most progressive state in the country. So we're always going to have sort of an eye to sort of thinking in terms of those types of issues. So that's the teaching philosophy. Here's the stuff. The course schedule, and again, I try to be amazingly detailed, so you know exactly what you need to be doing and when. And Finnegan says hi. Right, Finn? Yep. Okay. So today, again, you will have everything done if you've watched all the videos and read the syllabus very thoroughly. Go get your book and make sure to try to start getting your accounts with Twitter and Tumblr and emailing that information to me, because again, I want to on our course shell, I want to make sure that all the everybody's Tumblr address and Twitter address is there, so we can all sort of follow one another. And remember also to use that hashtag Rhett of Tourism for all your various tweets. And I say here, you should have sent me by 9 a.m. Wednesday the 4th a email that summarizes your take on all the assignments, so I can tell that you indeed understand the assignments, and also an additional email or an expanded email on that morning, 9 a.m. Wednesday, June the 4th, that also summarizes the reading that is assigned to you for tomorrow night. So tomorrow, then, what will be on the website for you, KC, is going to be an additional recorded lecture about pages 1 through 22 in our textbook, and so you need to be reading pages 1 through 22 for tomorrow. And then again, as I said, email me a summary of your take on those pages by 9 a.m. Wednesday, June the 5th, just so I can get a sense that you are understanding stuff. Now, the length of those emails are sort of up to you. You do need to be brief and succinct, so don't just summarize the entire thing. Maybe some key points, some key things that you learned from your reading. And not actually, because I don't want to make this video too terribly long, I'm just going to outline here the first week, and then maybe I'll continue doing that type of stuff as I create new videos and stuff like that. So Wednesday, June the 5th, what you need to do for that night or that day is to make sure you have finished reading the rest of the introduction. Wherever you stopped on page 22, continue with the rest of that introduction. I'll have an additional recorded lecture about the remainder of the introduction and a new PowerPoint too. I also have a new PowerPoint for you to look at tomorrow in light of pages 1 through 22. And then what I say is that I want you to email me by 9 a.m. Thursday, June 6th, your understanding summary of the key things that you got out of the rest of the introduction from pages 22 on to the end of that. And also what I say is that I will put a threaded discussion up on Wednesday. This is going to be your first threaded discussion, and it's really going to be regarding some of the key ideas in the introductory chapter, which again, rhetoric, memory, places of public memory. And so I will open that collaborative discussion / forum on Wednesday morning, June 5th, 10 a.m., and it will be closed Friday morning, June 7th at 10 a.m. So you want to make sure that you respond to my post or my prompt, and also hopefully respond to somebody else. And then our first tour, June the 6th, this Thursday, we are going to the State House to tour the grounds. And so what I will have for you is sort of through PowerPoint or maybe a handout are sort of prompts for you to use as you sort of tour the State House. And what I have for you on the syllabus are two different websites that I want you to look at. Now, if you live in Columbia, which I think most of you probably do, but you can go do this physically, but you don't have to. Remember, this is an online class, and so that's why you're doing the tours via the various websites. But one thing that I say that I want you to do is read chapter 2 in our book as a means to sort of help you create a lens to critically explore the State House grounds. And so reading chapter 2 that day, going through the two websites, looking at the critical probes that I will tease out from chapter 2, and then the things that you need to do so far as turning stuff in or emailing me stuff. By 9 a.m. Friday, June 7th, I want a summary of the main things that you got out of chapter 2 emailed to me. And then, since this is really our first time of dealing with the other assignments, that is the Twitter and the Tumblr, I'm going to give you until Sunday, June 9th to do that. And so what you need to have done, and I say by 9 p.m. Sunday evening, June the 9th, is to have at least one tweet about your experience looking at some of the stuff on the State House grounds via the websites or going to the actual site in downtown. And also have your first blog about your experiences. Remember, in a previous video I explained how to do that, so refer back to that. But remember, it needs to be 3 to 4 rich paragraphs that's not just description, but also sort of critical analysis in light of the various critical probes that I will give you, and also your reading of chapter 2. Hopefully that gives you a sense of what we're going to be doing for the first week, and I will say more about all that stuff or the rest of our weeks together later on in other videos. And of course I know that you will read this very, very thoroughly. The very last slide on the very first PowerPoint is extremely important. It is a YouTube video, and it is a nice live version of Willie Nelson's On the Road Again. So, here's my cowboy hat. We're on the road again. This is going to be a great class. I'm looking forward to it. Take care.